Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the new Reserve Vault. So, full disclosure, I am on the test server right now. This is not the live version of the game. What I'm doing is recording this the day before we're allowed to release content on this stuff. There's currently an embargo, but I will release this as soon as I can and get it out to you so that you have full context of what you're getting into when you start to upgrade this Reserve Vault. It is a pretty big deal because we've got the Master Vault where you can you just keep all of your champions you want, whether they have gear or not. The Reserve Vault is going to be champions that are not wearing gear or accessories, so it would be perfect for like faction guardians and stuff like that. But unfortunately, you know, Plarium's always trying to make their money too, for running the game and all that. So this is going to be a monetized mechanic. You're going to start out with 10 free slots. You can see if I put this away here, you can see the 0 out of 10. The 0 is how many champions you currently have in there. And then the 10 is going to be the maximum available slots. You can start purchasing these slots 10 at a time at the normal choice that you have between silver and gems. And then I believe it's going to max out at 300. That's what I have on the spreadsheet, but we'll kind of monitor that as we go and as I'm going through here, and we'll see how high this goes up to, and we'll keep track of the associated costs with that and try to lay out as best I can with the totals in the bottom right in relation to the silver and the gems, and then the USD value and how they compare to each other, so we can try to figure out which one might be the better route to go for your account. Worth noting and mentioning that the USD part of it on the bottom, I'm going with the like retail value in game, not the value that I would recommend you purchase an offer or something, or the tier at which I would be in the market to buy. It's just going to be like based on the value in game compared to the other offers that happen. The internal number that I use for my offer calculator, that's going to be the number reflected down there in the USD. So alrighty, let's get into this and figure out how much this is going to cost to max out the Reserve Vault. Alrighty, so here we go. The first upgrade is going to be costing us, put this in here, 96123, and then 88 gems, and boom, you can see the totals will automatically update there on the bottom. So for me in the test server, it's not really going to matter. I'll give you a look. They just kind of like throw us a bunch of stuff here. I can take this down. But yeah, I got like 300 million silver and 76,000 gems. So really not a big deal in terms of the context here. It's kind of like funny money, monopoly money type of scenario. So you don't really take this as a recommendation or anything. I'm just going to kind of upgrade it really quick. But we have got that slotted in, and we'll keep tabs on the prices as we go. And then it's got 20. So this is going to be, it'll also be nice to have this charted out so you know what to expect when you're upgrading and how each level is going to scale. It typically has a pattern where it goes up a certain percent, looks, you know, about 10% or so as we unlock the different tiers. So 112.96. Okay, and then we're gonna have 128 and a 104. Okay, boom, let's do that. And then that puts us at 40. 10 more would be 144, 2, 3, and then 116. Alrighty, and bang, at 50. It's gonna be looking like, okay, I can probably speed this up. So yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll do this super fast, and then when we get to the end, we'll give you some context and we'll talk about all these numbers. Well, I was doing that and I had to pause. Am I losing it here? So it really ramps up the silver cost, it looks like. I'm gonna have to look at the footage here when I'm editing, but all of a sudden it like tripled out of nowhere. So I was just gonna kind of simply go through and chart this, and I was actually starting to think like maybe people are gonna make fun of me because I should have just figured out the percentage and then just drug the formula. But it looks like things really did jump up here when I got to 100 slots. So okay, let me go ahead and continue charting. I think I accidentally double clicked and I missed one. I'm gonna have to go grab the footage here because I think I'm full right now. 576. And then I don't think that'll be, yeah, okay. So I definitely missed one. I think I missed one there, like one of the last 3 ones. Let me go look at the footage real quick. Okay, there we go. I went back and looked at the footage. By the way, you get a look into what like 75% of my life is like, going through charting data, looking at spreadsheets, and doing a bunch of that type of stuff that goes into making videos. But yeah, there we go. So when it jumped up from 8.6 to 9.8, I knew I kind of missed one, but it already happened before, so I was a little bit curious. But yeah, there is the different levels of getting every slot unlocked in your reserve vault to get all the way up to what you can see up at the top right there of the 300 spots available in the reserve vault, and that is the maximum. You're not going to be able to purchase anymore. You cannot increase your vault once you get up to 300. So we actually have a decent amount of space now with 400 in our main roster, 400 in our master vault, and then 300 in the reserve. That's going to be 1,100 spots for champions. It's a pretty big deal, and an insane amount of space available. We definitely needed it because of faction guardians and all of that came to the game, where we have to hold on to a ton of champions, and they're always introduced. There's like 700 champions now in raid, so definitely a welcomed addition to have this new space. But now let's break down the actual cost of what these slots are going to cost. So for the totals down there on the bottom, we're going to be at 104,456,000 for the silver's expenditure to get the 300 spots in the reserve vault, and then 8,884 gems to fill up those spots. So just on the surface, it looks like in terms of retail value compared to the offers we typically see in game and how I calculate them, at least, it looks like going to be a little bit better value to go with the gems. But worth keeping in mind that some people are insanely rich on silver. Like if they're end game, you might see somebody with 300 million silver and 600 gems. So obviously for that person that's super end game, it's going to make more sense to go ahead and spend the silver. You can maybe argue it's a little bit easier to restock your silver than it is your gems. So it's probably pretty fair in terms of how it is structured. And I think for a lot of you, it might make sense to go ahead and spend the silver. Like I know for me, I'm a pretty end game player with a few, I don't know the exact number I'm going to test over right now, but I got like a few 100 million in silver that I've saved up just kind of over time, being efficient with grinding, and only kind of upgrading during artifact enhancement events and stuff like that. So I will definitely be spending the silver personally. I'd much rather hold on to the gems. Like I said, they're tougher to replenish. To get those 8,800 gems would be a little bit tougher than getting the 104 million silver, but that's going to be how it breaks down in terms of the totals and the USD retail value based on offers in game, and what I am going to be doing in terms of what resource I use to go ahead and max out my reserve vault, which I definitely do think is worth it. You're going to want that space. It's going to make your life so much easier once you are later. Now, I don't think it's a super priority for like an end game player. Nothing wrong with like if you're new to raid, you've been playing a month or two, nothing wrong with kind of slowly building up your space. You know, it's going to be later on when you finish faction wars and you've got your faction guardians filled up. That's when you're going to want to transition to making sure you get as much space as possible. But nothing wrong with holding off and waiting. It's more of a quality of life type of mechanic. So alrighty, let me know what you think down below about the reserve vault. Are you excited for this? Are you going to be spending the resources to acquire these spaces? Which resource are you going to be spending? I really enjoy when the comment section down below becomes a resource for people to get multiple different opinions besides just mine. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. We're going to have about 10 videos a week coming along to keep you in the loop for Raid Shadow Legends. And I'm excited to dive into having a lot more space for when we do shard pulls and roster management. So as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.